So where do most people start with social media? Well, they just come up with ideas. Well, why does coming up with ideas first typically lead to lack of success? Well, one, there's no format in mind. So you're just coming up with ideas. There's no format or structure that you're putting that idea into. And number two is if you're going from idea to idea, how are you going to master storytelling? It's like the analogy we just talked about with learning a musical instrument. If we're changing the goalpost and changing from instrument to instrument to instrument, how do we ever get good? So once we have a format, it becomes the vehicle for ideas. So to give you an example, we worked with an amazing guy. His name's Tanner Leatherstein, with a leather expert, and he has a fascinating story.
Is that his name?
No, it's not. It's not his real name.
I knew it. It's too good of a name too for it to be real.
It's amazing. But like, he has an amazing story. At age 9, he created his first leather jacket. Like, he just loves leather goods. But before coming to us, he was struggling with social media because he was doing like everybody else. He was just creating ads to promote his products. Yeah. So we helped him design a format called Is It Worth It? Where he'll take, very expensive handbags, like $3,000 Chanel handbag. He actually buys these things. He pays for it with his own money, deconstructs it on screen and tells you whether it's worth the money you have for it. So we have this container, this format of Is It Worth It? Now that we have this format, high performing ideas are super easy. So one week it's a Chanel handbag. The next week it's Louis Vuitton shoes. The next it's a Prada handbag. It's an expensive wallet. It's an expensive belt. You have this container that makes it super easy to find high performing ideas because it's vetted through this structure, to the point where like he didn't even really feel comfortable being on camera. He has 94 videos with over 1 million views. Why? Because it makes the ideation process, coming up with high power ideas, a lot more effective and a lot easier.
I think one of the reasons why his videos work is there's some shock value. These are coveted objects that he takes. So somebody's like probably having a fit just watching him rip these things apart. He scrapes the coating. He sets them on fire. And he's just pushing and pulling every little thing. Then he goes into like the cost, the material costs, the finishes, the trim, and then the labor cost to make a point. Like when you buy this thing, you're not buying it because it's this value. You're buying it because of some other reason, which he doesn't get into, but there's shock value there. If you're watching that, or if you're listening to this right now and you're thinking to yourself, well, how does a guy afford to buy $2,000 to $3,000 worth of bags for each video and then to be able to do this sustainably? Do you have an answer for that?
Yeah, so it's a great question. In one of the things, and I'll just insert this brutal truth into social media because most people don't get it. Your social media profile is not your website, and your organic content is not your ads. People do not log on to social media to see you sell things. So what Tanner is doing through that format is he's building a strong relationship with them. He's getting people to know, like, and trust him. And because the format is so high performing, where he has 94 of these videos with over 1 million views, he has a bunch over 10 million views. He's getting so much exposure on him as an individual, building that relationship, building that trust, that they ultimately want to take that next step with him. So if you watch his content, there's no calls to action. There's no visit the website. He just has a link in his bio. And before this format, he would pay per every click going to his website. He was generating 10,000 visitors. After this, he was generating 100,000 visitors plus organically. And his most expensive products, the ones that were handcrafted, would sell out. So I'm not suggesting that every person goes out there and buys a $5,000 handbag or piece of equipment and deconstruct it. Again, match the resources to where you're at. But he has a fundamental business model behind it that he understands that translates into people that want to buy from him. Again, you can look at like Mr. Beast, where he'll spend $5 million, $10 million on a video. Again, we're not recommending that people do that, but he has an underlying business model that he has proven out over time. It's not like Tanner or Mr. Beast started at that point. They just built into it and knew that they got a positive ROI from it.
I thought the answer was going to be because social media rewards them financially so that they have a positive return on that investment. So if they spend $3,000, TikTok or Instagram might pay them $5,000, and so they can just keep doing this infinitely. But there's the real business, the business behind all the social is he makes bags that you can buy.
Yes.
Mr. Beast's model is he actually makes more money in ad revenue and sponsors than he spends on making the videos, right? That's what I understand.
So that's a really great point. Mr. Beast hit a saturation point where he was generating so many views that a sponsor couldn't underwrite it for the value that he was providing, he wasn't getting enough return out of it. So that's where he started building his own companies. Like he built, Beast Burger was the first one. Feastables is like the fastest selling chocolate bar in the world now. I think it's projected this year to do 500 million in revenue. So it hit a saturation point. And this is another kind of brutal truth I talk people through, because you bring up a really valid point that we get asked a lot, is like, well, what is the true ROI of social media? Like if I'm going to invest my time or energy into social media, if I'm going to hire a social media manager, if I'm going to hire Brendan or Hookpoint, like what is my return on going to be? The reality is the return is the size of your vision. How big can your business scale? Like I'll give you an example.